Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday so far and enjoying your day. Hopefully, it's warmed up a little bit. It has here, although today we're expecting rain, but at least it's a little warmer, which is always a good thing. So, I want to welcome you back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. And if you haven't hit the like and subscribe button yet, I'd appreciate you hitting the like and subscribe so you can be informed of all new videos coming out. But today is about our Sunday video. My thing is falling here. That I do for the collective. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly Oracle card reading. This is actually for the first full week of March. It's hard to believe we finally made it here. So this is for the 2nd through the 8th. And what I do every week is kind of tap into the energy of the collective around the world. Because as all people know, at least the natives and a lot of other people, we are all connected. So the great spirit, the great mystery, creator, source, God, however you want to name that being that created us, moves through all living beings. So what affects one of us eventually affects the collective. So we always want to tap in to see what energy is going to be like for the coming week. This particular week, they said to use the messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle. As you can see, it's by Dr. Stephen Farmer. And very, very beautiful cards, and then very, as you'll see when you see some of the cards, the information in them from nature, which we are connected to, is very pertinent to us. So we're going to put a little prayer out and ask that for the highest and best interest of all of humanity, that we get a reading for the first full week of March 2025, from the 2nd through the 8th, for the collective. And let's shuffle, and we'll see where we go with this. Sometimes they'll have me pull 3 cards, sometimes 4. And sometimes we actually have a jumper, which is just extra information or something very important that needs to come out that didn't actually come out in the reading itself. So we're just going to shuffle them up a little bit, see what comes out for us that we need to know. And in the meantime, I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. I hope it's starting to warm up where you live. It's starting to warm up here a little bit. It's supposed to have rain today. Oh, you got a jumper. Okay. So we're going to put that card aside and we'll see what it is at the end. Let's one more shuffle through here. Okay. So now let's get these on so I can actually read what the cards say. Okay. So they're saying 3 cards. Ah, okay. Interesting. All right. So, my hair. First card is the island. And on it, it says detachment. Got an island sitting out in the middle of the ocean. Got clouds around it, blue sky. But it's also out there all by itself with nothing else around it. So detach. Second card is the moon. Beautiful full moon at that. Oh, coming down over, again, the ocean. And that card talks about cycles. And the third card is the owl, also known as the night eagle in a lot of traditions. And it's about tapping into your intuition, finding the unseen and making it seen. And the jumper card was the earth card. And it says home on it. So now let's look and see how this all ties together with the message that Spirit wants us to know. So here again is the island card. And the message from the island says, you're feeling distant and removed from others. It's a familiar sense of loneliness and alienation. Perhaps childhood experiences have taught you to remain aloof as a form of protection. By keeping your distance from others, you find some comfort in that there are few demands for you to meet, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Now, however, remaining withdrawn from your community has begun to feel like being stranded on a desert island. The self-isolation and sense of disconnection have gone on for a while. Some family and friends have progressively made less of an effort to contact you or stop contacting you altogether. You've convinced yourself that you don't really need your relationships with people or even spirit. Aside from any benefits of going it alone, there's a deep hunger for connection. You try to satisfy that craving by filling the time with compulsive activities and obsessive and addictive preoccupations. It's time now to reach out to others, to be honest with yourself about your need for contact with family and friends. Renew those attachments despite any reservations. Recognize that your addictions and worldly occupations are not filling the void that can only be satiated by renewing and reactivating your connection to others and with spirit. And I'm seeing a lot of disconnection from people because they feel like their voice doesn't matter. And that's one of the things that the archangels keep bringing up a lot, is that we all matter. We all have a voice, and we all matter. We were all put here by Creator. Nobody is better than anybody else. Nobody is above anybody else. We are all created equal. So therefore, your voice is just as important as the next person's, and the next person, and the next person. Because then you see, when you have these islands of detachment and you start bringing them all together, you end up with the earth. See how they work that? I gotta love how they do that, how it comes through sometimes. So we are not alone, even though sometimes it feels like we are. That's why it's so important to reach out to your friends, reach out to your neighbors, reach out to your community. You have a voice. And if you don't like what you're seeing in your life, then use that voice, even if it's something small. We have mouths. We need to start using them. When we don't see something, when we see something we don't like, we need to start speaking up, because that's how we change the world. We got that again. Remember? Okay. So then the second card is about the moon, which is all about cycles. So the message from the moon is, for the next couple of months, keep a journal in which you track the cycles of the moon along with a record of your mood each day. Note if and how your emotions correspond to the full or the new moon and the in-between periods. If it's the time of the new moon, declare your intention for the next couple of weeks and allow that which has been brewing to birth. Listen closely to your inner guidance for support for these intentions. Take a walk outside and gaze at the stars, knowing that Grandmother Moon is there, whether you see her or not. If instead you're now on the time of the full moon, rejoice, for it is time of completion, of endings. It's time to let go of anything physical, emotional, or relational that you've held on to for too long. Let go of those troubling emotions that have been hounding you. Forgive yourself for any way you violated your own ethics. It's a good time to release any and all shame that you've been carrying. Thank Grandmother Moon for assisting you with these actions. And again, during the time of the full moon or the new moon, do a ceremony, do a simple moon ceremony. And when you do that, you just take a piece of paper and a pencil and you print on the piece of paper during a new moon that which you desire to bring into your life. Don't write it. You need to print it because it puts the intention into your request even stronger. And then go out underneath, if you can, under the day of the new moon and burn that paper or bury it. On a full moon, you do the same thing. Piece of paper with a pencil. You print what you're willing, able, and ready to release. Whether it's a bad habit, whether it's a belief you're trying to get rid of, whatever it might be that you're just finished with, you write it down on a piece of paper. But you have to be really willing to let it go. And you do the same thing. Under the light of the full moon, you either burn it or you bury it. And then you go on about your day, about your life, knowing that Spirit has that information and will start working on either removing that from your life that you no longer desire, or they'll start working on bringing it into your life. So that's one of the ways you can start working with the moons. And the moons also, as they do, go in cycles. But if it's a new moon or a full moon, you have the 3 days before, then the moon itself, and 3 days after and you'll notice the energy shifting. Like I have very hard time sleeping around a full moon because the energy is so powerful that it keeps me up all night. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way my body is starting to adjust to the moons. So pay attention. That's why it's like, keep a journal. Pay attention to how you respond to the moon. Which one are you more affiliated with? The new moon, the full moon, or maybe it's a quarter moon. You just start paying attention to the cycles in your life. And then the third card, whoops, almost threw it. It again is the owl. Intuition. That's a beautiful card. Let me pull it up there so you can see it. They did a very beautiful job with these cards. So let's see what the message from the owl is. Ah, hair. Okay. Darkness is the breeding ground for intuition. Those hits of awareness that can sneak up to you at unexpected times and in unexpected ways. Inspirations and creative ideas have been silently gestating, and now they are slipping through the veil that separates your subconscious mind from your conscious awareness. Sometimes they appear as external signs, and other times as that sudden aha moment, as if they had been stalking you for a while. The information and messages can come through your vision, your hearing, or as sensations in your body that lead you to a knowing. This is the definition of intuition. You're learning to pay closer attention to the different ways intuition shows up, as well as learning how to accept and trust these inspirations. They have become an increasingly important way for you to receive guidance. There are many changes going on in your life presently, and navigating through them hasn't always been easy. Rather than trying to figure things out in the old ways you've employed, keep building trust in your gut instinct and observe how any shadows of doubt become more readily dispelled. So again, the owl and intuition. We all have it. We're all psychic. And it's time we start using our God-given abilities for the betterment of mankind. Oh, I have hair stuck in there. Okay. So our last card, which was the jumper card, is the Earth. So the message from Mother Earth. You're feeling disconnected from your body as well as disengaged from the earth beneath your feet, your one true home. The phrase head in the clouds is appropriate for how you've been feeling lately. When you're in this state, there's a sense of loss, alienation, fragmentation, and disassociation. Though you have ways to compensate for this lack of grounding, they tend to be temporary measures and may even be used to numb yourself from reality. There are a few ways to reawaken the felt relationship between your body and the earth. Dance, sit on the floor, walk barefoot on the earth, do yoga, do Tai Chi, touch someone you love. Throughout any of these activities or others you can think of, remember to breathe deeply and slowly, expressing your gratitude to Mother Earth for the home that she provides, and the gift of your more immediate home, your body. Make offerings to Mother Earth with cornmeal, sage, or sacred tobacco by prayerfully taking a pinch and placing it lovingly on the land, her body. Doing so is a way of honoring the reciprocity of your relationship with her and offering her gratitude and blessings. If you wish, you can even go so far as kissing the very ground you walk on as an expression of your gratitude and love for how she not only provides a home, but is home. So those are the 4 cards that came out today. One being a jumper card. And again, really honing in on the message that yes, we are spiritual beings, but we're in physical bodies, and we really need to stay grounded in our lives. We need to stay connected to all other beings on this planet in order for our own spiritual growth and to help them as well. You know, we're all here as learners, but we're also here as teachers. And that goes with our animals. Sometimes we learn from them, sometimes we teach them. It goes back and forth, and sometimes they teach us, and sometimes, it just depends on what the interconnection is. So make sure you stay grounded, but pay attention to your intuition, because your intuition will never steer you wrong. People can, because they have different opinions, they have different beliefs, they look at the world differently than maybe you do because of the way they were brought up. It could be anything. So don't take everything you hear from other people for granted, because it's always goes through the filters. So when you hear something and you turn around and tell somebody else, it's coming through your filters. It's coming through your belief system that's been instilled in you since you were a young child. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. But the person you're talking to might have a different belief system than you do because of the way they were raised. So they might not technically either understand what you're saying, or they won't believe it because it's not in their spectrum of belief, because they're listening to it through their filters. So this is all about listening. It's about knowing that we are all connected. We are not alone. So the detachment from our surroundings and what's going on in the world has to stop, because we are all connected. Everything that happens on this planet affects us all. And it does go in cycles. So pay attention. Keep a journal. Pay attention to your feelings. Pay attention to your thoughts. And if you don't like your thoughts, you can change them. You have free will. You don't have to always believe everything you're told, because it may or may not be true. That's when you tap into your intuition. Ha ha. See how that happens? You tap into your own intuition, into your own God self, and you find out what is true for you. But you still stay connected to Earth. You stay grounded so that you can effect change. Use your voice for good. And know that you matter. Know that you are loved. And there will be peace on this planet. Believe it. And then you will see it. So that is the wisdom that they have to share with us this week. I want you to all please stay very grounded. Keep your prayers coming up, going up to Mother Earth, down, just keep the prayers coming for peace, for unity, for love, truth, and justice for all. And I'll see you next week for another whirlwind, wild message from the guides and angels. I hope you guys all have a great day. And if you haven't already hit the like and subscribe button, please do so. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.